I don't get paid from the money you make off my photos or the video I made for you.
Welcome to the New Black is the New Rich podcast. I'm your host, Corey Cash. We talk to entrepreneurs and humanitarians living life their way. Today, we got a very, very special guest. He's been around for a while as a creator. Actually, you know what? How do you want to introduce yourself? No one can do it better than the person.
I am Ryan, also known as Mr.Koa online and socially. I am a former athlete turned business professional turned full-time creative.
Nice. And I know you don't really like to talk about this stuff, but obviously I've went through all your work and I seen you worked with some big names. Who are some of the names that you've worked with?
Well, I do a lot of work with either clients, corporate clients, celebrities, athletes. Some name I don't like dropping names, like you said, but you guys might know people like Floyd Mayweather. If you guys are into baseball, Marcus Stroman's a good friend of mine. If you guys watch Jersey Shore, Vinny from Jersey Shore is a really dope guy. I've done stuff for TSN, for Nike, for Jordan Brand, shot for the Raptors, actually shot a championship. So I have footage of us winning and the parade and all that. So I've done some really dope things in my life. It's actually, as of now, recently I'm working with Lorianne Gibson, who's she's actually Canadian, but she's a famous choreographer who lives in LA. She actually found Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj before they started. So she's actually she's on Making the Band. You remember that show? So she's friends with Diddy. So yeah, I'm in some spaces. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm in some real cool spaces.
So let's take it back. Before the camera, what were you doing before, and how did give us the lead up to where you're at now?
It's crazy, bro. This story, I've told this story so many times, and it's still surreal every time I tell it. But there was no camera. This is what I'm doing now was not in the plans. It was not like some people aspire their whole life to be a photographer, to do videos, or to be on film and stuff like that. I want to be an athlete. You know, we've hooped together forever. So I mean, from high school going on, from middle school, you know, I went to Valleys here in Mississauga. I always wanted to play basketball and go to the NBA, and that was my dream. I got a scholarship after high school to go to the University of Ottawa. So I played basketball there, and I got injured in my third year. And that injury is literally the pivoting and trajectory point that changed my whole mentality, my personality, my goals, my plans. That injury actually resulted in me getting cut while I was rehabbing. A new coach came. I came back from my injury. I tore my meniscus in my knee, and the new coach came during that time. So the coach that recruited me there wasn't there anymore. So I was kind of didn't really fit with this guy. We didn't really get along. He's very stubborn and new. And he ended up cutting me. Not because I wasn't good, just he's like, I have a different plan for the program, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. So my whole team's like, what? He cut you? I'm like, bro, it's a tough business. It is what it is. So now I'm in university. I'm not playing ball. I'm going to school. I've never been a regular student in school in my life. Like my whole school, every school I've been to, high school, middle school, I've always been on a basketball team. Basketball team, you have games on weekends or after school, stuff
always
like that.
Been a student athlete.
I've never been, I just go to class.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what it was like to adjust to go to class and
I've never done that
and then go home, go to class and free weekends. It did nothing. I didn't even know how to adjust to having so much free time. And, you know, I stopped watching basketball for a little because it was too tough to just see that, you know, especially being on the basketball team. I stopped going to the university games for a little bit. I just had to detach myself from that. I'm to watch them. And every time I did go to the game, people were like, oh, you're not playing. That gets to you. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
So after that, I kind of processed the fact that I'm not on a team anymore. I was like, all right, you got to move. You know, I can't sit in this depressed moment for so long. And it resulted in me, you know, working on other things, other skills I didn't really have time to before. So I've always been into art and design and being artistic, but I never had the time to. So now that I had all this time, I'm like, let me just start tapping into that a little bit. I started to draw, I started to do some designing, and that kind of fell into me creating a clothing line back in university. Sold some stuff on campus, and I was like, oh shit, I have a little business going on. And it was just something to kind of pass the time. And then I started a YouTube channel back when YouTube was really popping, back in 2013, 14. I had a YouTube channel called KOA Talk, where I'll talk about relationships and men and women and dating. People always like my perspectives. I'm very raw. And that's literally how I got into talking about relationships. So I was doing that and just picking up different things just to kind of get over this basketball void, you know? And I launched my company called King of Arts. And I named it that because it was literally me finding different art forms. Like the brand itself, King of Arts, is a prime definition of what I was going through at that time. And I named it King of Arts. I wanted to be the king or really good at multiple different things. I didn't know what I would be doing. I wasn't even a shooter back then. I was just doing some designs here. It makes sense today. A little bit of, now it's so fitting. You know, but back then I was just kind of, let me just try some stuff. And I pick up a camera only to take pictures of my clothing. I was like, I have clothing now. I need to put some photos out there. So I had some friends. I'm like, you guys want all of my stuff? They're like, yeah, sure. Took some free photos of them, gave them the photos, and then kind of learned photography. And I just started just picking up things and just attaching myself to other skills. I'm like, what else can I do? All right, let me start doing a website. Did my own website. Oh, cool. What else can I do? Let me do my own logo. Did my own logo, which are now my tattoos on my skin. Like, I just started touching. And that's literally what built my brand to what it is today. And now I do this for a living. My company, King of Arts, is King of Arts Incorporated.
Put some respect on
King of Arts Incorporated. So it's an incorporated company now. It's just a crazy story, man. It's a crazy story. It never gets old to tell. I do public speaking and different things like that for business and stuff. And just that story alone just motivates people, motivates myself to, when I look back, I'm like, bro, like, yo, like it's pretty crazy. So yeah.
So as a former athlete like myself, I understand like how hard it is to maybe transition from basketball. I feel like because we know so much about the basketball community, how much of that could be a struggle. 100%. What advice can you give like athletes when they actually finally realize, yo, NBA is not a thing or pro basketball is not a thing? I feel like a lot of athletes or former athletes really struggle mentally. And it's something that we both had to go through.
100%.
And what advice can you give them?
Honestly,
moving forward?
I would just say even early, before you even get to that point where you realize NBA is not a thing, realize it now that as much as you want to get to the NBA, whether you're, you know, a kid in high school right now or right before high school and you have aspirations like all of us had, start from now getting other skills. Just like tap into other stuff like basketball, 100% put your heart and soul into it, as we all have. Practice, get in the gym, do all those stuff. But find some hobbies. Those hobbies can turn to careers later on in life, and you'll be happy that you did these things to make yourself well-rounded. There's a like what LeBron's thing is more than the athlete, right? The reason he says more than the athlete is because, yeah, as good as he is, that when that guy retires, he's gonna be rich forever.
Yeah, rich forever. He's gonna be doing things.
Bro, he's opening schools, he's doing this. He's like, find ways to make an impact in community, impact in your life, bigger than basketball. Like, yes, be the best you can, but
even Kobe,
all these, every great has done something outside of the sport. So yes, you know, they teach you to be like, yo, ball is life. It isn't.
It isn't life.
It isn't.
It isn't life at all.
Like, it's a big part of our lives, but it isn't life. And you have to, once you get that mentality, like, sounds cliche, but like, get right in school and get your marks and get used to, you know, building the academic side of your brain as well as the athletic side, you know, because no one can take that from you. One injury, like I've been injured. I tore my Achilles last year. Like, injuries happen, but you'll never lose that brain, never lose the thought process. And as much as you want to get to the NBA, you might not get to the NBA, but you can still be part of the basketball.
That's true.
In some way. And that still feeds you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in the NBA, but I work with NBA players.
Yeah.
I would love to be in the NBA, get NBA money, but
you're really close right now.
I still get a great enjoyment from working with an NBA player, like working and shooting someone or shooting a practice, shooting a game or whatever, or just chilling with players, being around the sport. Like, you can still be part of the sport without actually being an NBA player, you know?
One thing that you mentioned that we might have a difference of opinion is the school part, the academics,
right? Yep.
In this day and age, do you still believe it's just as important, maybe like when we were going to university? What's your take on that?
My take on school, it's always been the same. I think, I like, even now, like people are like, oh, if you found your career back then, would you still go to school? And I still say yeah. And I say that because I went to school for business, you know, so I am still doing things in my business degree, but I'm not doing the calculus stuff. I'm not doing all the programs I did. But one thing I'll say about school that taught me and that could teach other people, regardless of what you're taking in school, it's not important. I think what's important is what going to university or college teaches you about yourself. You know, it teaches you discipline, teaches you time management, teaches you how to work with other groups.
And you're networking.
And you network, and it teaches you how to be responsible for yourself. I think when you don't go to school, not that you can't still do those things, but when you do put yourself in a situation where it's uncomfortable, where you have to get an assignment done you don't really feel like doing, when you have to work with a couple groups of people that you don't really like to be around, it forces you to work on situations and scenarios that are uncomfortable to you.
And that's real life.
That's real life.
Yeah.
Because naturally, if you don't do these things in university and you just go in life, people tend to avoid situations that are uncomfortable. Why would you purposely put yourself in uncomfortable situations?
No one's doing that.
Why? You know what I mean? So like, university or college force you to be in situations, force you to be and speak in front of people you don't really feel like it, force you to like to do all these things that you're like, I wouldn't really do if I didn't have to. And I think that forced discipline is something that is a big benefit from going to school. It really takes you out of your comfort zone and makes you do things that if no one was telling you to do it, you're like, I'm not doing that.
You're not doing
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So like, I wouldn't say school is needed. I wouldn't say it's like you gotta go to school to be successful.
Everything around school.
It's everything around the concept of school and what you learn and experience. My best friends to this day are guys I met in university. You know what I mean? You might meet your best friend in university or college. Like those are some
those are lifetime friends.
Those are some really cool years for you. So I don't think it's more like you need a degree because that's what the world needs. No, I think it's more of a personal development thing.
Okay, fair. I could dig that.
Yeah.
So let's get to some camera talk. I feel like you are the only person that uses a Nikon, but uses it so well.
Thank you.
Why? Like I never, like you're the only photographer that I know that uses a Nikon.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple of photographers that now use Nikon. Some use it because I started, which is really dope, and some I've just seen that they'll follow me and look up to me because it's like, oh, I use Nikon, I see you use this, so that which is also pretty dope to be able to inspire the people that are in such a rare space of camera. For me, I'm stubborn. I know I am a stubborn ass fucking guy. And I just know when I first started, shooting and getting into stuff, everyone had a Canon or Sony, right? And I'm like, why does everyone have Canon or Sony? Like, what is it? Like, I see the specs, I see the other cameras. I'm like, the specs aren't like crazy better. The specs aren't like something that's so amazing that makes them so superior. It's just like, it's more a branding thing. And I feel like as a business person, anything that looks like people are doing only because it's branded, I avoid.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Do the opposite.
Like, I just do the opposite.
Yeah.
For example, easy example, everyone had Blackberries back in the day. Everyone had a pin rolling Blackberry.
Yeah.
I purposely never got a Blackberry. I never had a Blackberry. Wow. I've never had, everyone had Blackberry. I'm just like, why you guys all have this? I'm like, I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Back then I had a HTC phone. Like, I don't even know if you know what that is. Like Windows phone. Like, I remember that. I had a Windows phone with like keyboard and stuff. Like I had a Palm Trio. Like I just did different shit.
Yeah.
Everyone had iPhone. I only got iPhone recently because the Clubhouse came out a couple years ago or last year, whatever. And that was the only way to get on the app was to have iPhone.
Oh, they didn't have it on the Android side.
Now they have it now, but when it first came out, everyone's like, okay, on Clubhouse, we love your perspectives. And I'm like, I don't have an iPhone. So I literally got an iPhone to get Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Prior to that, everyone had iPhones. Yo, get an iPhone. I'm just crazy. I'm just like, nah, I don't want it. I did Android. I had all my Google phones and Google Pixel. Like, I'm just always against the grain. Back in high school, niggas are all at Gates. Everyone's there, Gates is the place to be. People were at Loyola. People were like, Loyola is the place to be. Loyola and Gates were always the big schools. And I'm just like, I'm gonna go to Aaron.
That's crazy.
And niggas like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't want to win with you guys. It's too easy. You guys are having fun. Yeah, it's cool. But I know if I go there, we're gonna win. Like, I know. It's not like maybe. Like, I know we're gonna win if I go there.
The skill.
To me, I'm like, yeah, it's fun to win, but I'm like, I like being an underdog. I genuinely love that feeling of being like, you didn't think you're gonna beat me. You didn't think I was gonna beat you, but I did. You didn't think you can come in here and just walk up, but you didn't. Like, I like showing people up. It's a competitive gene in me. I love being the underdog. I love proving people wrong. Like, it's just something in me that I'm just like,
it drives you.
It drives me. It drives me. So yeah. Nikon's the same thing. Everyone had those cameras. I'm just like, what's this Nikon saying? I looked at the specs, so pretty similar. I was like, okay, some are better for photography stuff. Like a Nikon D850 I have is like a 43 megapixel camera. Like, it's stupid. It's like one of the best cameras on the market, but no one talks about it. Because it's like, oh, it's Nikon. Remember that camera on my portraits are nuts. Like, these on my portraits are nuts, but no one talks about it because it's like Canons and the Sonys. And I started looking at real stuff and I was like, I'm gonna be the guy then. I'm gonna be the Nikon guy. And bro, every time people see myself, what do you shoot with? Nikon. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that.
And your color grade right now, from what I've noticed, is like it's on point.
Thank you, man.
On point. So
thank you.
Nikon, it is. How important do you think it is, or actually, how important do you think camera equipment is for like the new up and coming photographers, videographers? Because I remember like when I was coming up, I always wanted like the up to date stuff. But how important is that now to you?
Bro, people are shooting movies on iPhones.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, having the Red and the Aries and Nikons and Sonys, about all the brands are great. Having great equipment does make stuff look better, but it doesn't teach you how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So
still gotta have your own sauce.
You still don't have your own sauce. I can toss an RA in your hand, but you don't know what you're shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. You have a Red camera. It's like, yeah, but your stuff sucks. So you don't have an eye.
Yeah.
You're shooting a bookcase, shooting your man playing basketball, but it's bad. Like it doesn't matter what you have. You know what I mean? Someone could shoot that same thing on their iPhone better because they have an eye. They have the angle. Yeah. They know where to shoot. They know where the like lighting. Like there's so much more to shooting than just let me get the most expensive stuff. Yeah. So, you know, I feel any camera you get at this point, they're all pretty decent. They're all pretty decent. They can all take pictures. Most things are digital anyways. You can,
and if you're uploading on Instagram, you're
all getting compressed.
All getting compressed.
So just get a camera, something you like, something you're comfortable with, something that you're able to navigate. Because don't get something you don't know how to use. It's pointless. Get something you like and practice your eye. Work on your style. Work on the angles. Shoot your friends. Go outside and shoot. Like when I first started, I was just going outside shoot. Like a lot of people start shooting street stuff. That's how I started. I would just shoot the city. I had a lot of entire pictures. I had a lot of stuff outside on beaches and stuff, and just like get used to just taking random pictures and coloring them, edit them, play around with them, shoot your friend, and then work on their skin. Just learn the art form and the skill and find the style before you worry about the type of camera you have.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. This is like an uncomfortable topic for a lot of, like, you'll understand, but like when it comes to like charging your friends and your family, how do you go? Like, what's your word on that?
So, you know, I actually made a post about this a couple of weeks ago. One of my blog posts saying there are no discounts. So I feel like people don't understand, especially if you're an entrepreneur, that like we don't have a regular paycheck like you guys. We don't have the 9 to 5 anymore. We don't have a for sure paycheck at the end of every 2 weeks or every week. So when people are pricing something, especially an entrepreneur or a creative or something, they're pricing it because that money has to pay for whatever they're not going to get for the time until their next gig. Right? So when someone's pricing something, yeah, they're pricing for their time, for their work, but they're also pricing for what they've already put in. Right? So if you have a $4,000 camera, why would I give you a discount if I spent 4 bands of my own money to use the tool and then to edit that you're benefiting from? Like the discounts just don't make sense. Because I feel like discounts come from a lack of education. I feel like the more you educate people and clients and family about what actually goes into what you're doing, they'll get a better understanding of why you're pricing certain things. You wouldn't ask someone for a discount if you're like, okay, cool. So when I do this photo shoot with you, right? I take these pictures with my $4,000 camera, and then guess what I do? I go home and I spend about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours going through all those photos, and then guess what I do? Then I select the best photos from that, and I edit for another 2.5 hours, and then guess what? After I do that, I organize those, and then probably go through some more edits and some more tweaks, and I put in the album for you, and I send it to you. That total project, after we already shot for a couple hours, we already shot. Once you leave, my day's not done. So you think, oh, it was only a couple hours. Yeah, together.
Exactly.
For us. My day took another 8. You know what I'm saying? So once they understand, it's like, why would I give you a discount? Like, just look at me in the face and be like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That we shot for 2 hours and I took another 8 to do this project, whether it's photo or video or photo and video or whatever I'm doing, but I'm going to give you a discounted price to put more money in your pocket so you can take whatever I gave you and make money off of, but not pay me for that. Once you structure things in a way of education rather than just, that's just my price, like actually educate, like, listen, I'm pricing this way because look how much time I put into this, so you can actually see a breakdown.
And you want a good product.
And you're happy with it. You're probably gonna come back. And for the most part, what people don't understand, if it's work for a business, if it's work for a person, that's different. Like they want Instagram, whatever. But if it's work you're doing for a business, they want that work to promote their business, correct?
To make them money.
To make them money, correct? Do you get paid from that? I don't get paid from the money you make off my photos or the video I made for you.
Yeah, it's a one-time thing.
Bro, if you make $10,000 off that one video I made that you paid 3 bills for or whatever, I don't see the 10 bands.
Exactly.
So no, I'm not giving you a discount for $250. Like, why does that make sense? Like, you have to, and again, education. I'll always say education, because you're like, if you explain to someone, it's like, hey, this video I'm gonna make you, if you make 10 bands from it, are you gonna pay me from that? And they'd be like, no. And you're like, okay, cool. And I wouldn't ask you to pay for me that either. But I'm also not giving you a discount because I don't get paid from that if or when that happens. And once people understand that perspective, I think they'll stop asking for discounts.
Fair. Yeah, honestly, because sometimes I remember, like, I just get frustrated. I just be like, that's my price, bro. Because it's all the time. It's like, hey, can you do this? I'll come back for more videos. I'll do this, and I didn't have the patience at the time.
You just education.
Yeah, fair.
Education.
Fair.
I think at this point in my career, people don't ask me for discounts.
Yeah,
and I think also
you built up a name too.
Right. So there's another aspect to it. Like, when you start, a lot of people that are just starting, I've been asking, how you do? People always asking for discounts or wanting for free or for followers or stuff like that. Like, yeah, when you're starting, people try to take advantage of you for sure, but you have to hold that your morals firm and be and explain, educate, like I was saying. But then also, I'm saying, it gets to a point,
and you're gonna take some no's too. That's fine.
You have to be okay taking a no.
Yeah, exactly.
In this life, you can't take a no. Don't start it. Like, come on. You know what I mean? But for me, like, luckily, and for other people, as you grow, if you get to a point where I'm at and some other people are at, where it's like, if you see someone working with, a Floyd or Nike or the Raptors or shooting for these people, asking for a discount just sounds silly to you.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like no one asks me for a discount anymore because they're like,
they know the resume's deep.
They're like, I feel like he would even respond if I asked him for a discount. So they just won't. So I don't deal with that anymore, but I definitely have.
Okay, dope. Yeah. How do you go about getting brand gigs or just gigs in general? Are you the type to reach out to people, or do you let people come to you? How does that work for you?
So I would say this is my weakest part, because 98%, I could probably say 98% of my business is referrals.
That's really good though.
Right? It's really good, but I definitely know I can improve that, because I know if I just sent out, a deck to 100 different people, I'm sure I get more business.
Sure.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're busy as it is.
I am busy, but I know, like,
more.
It's an element that I'm like, you could just do it. Like, I'm sure someone would be like, if they start a resume with these people, they'd be like, yeah, let's work together. I've just never been a salesperson. Even when the jobs I've gotten, I hated sales jobs. Yeah. I hate the act of convincing.
Yeah. I think the best salespeople are the ones that don't have to convince.
I agree, but also disagree, because some of the best salespeople that convince are making killing.
True.
Some of the men that come to your door and knock and blah blah. Yeah, you say no, but he's doing that all day. He made his bands that day.
True.
Right? I mean, so it goes both ways. You're also missing a lot of opportunity by not asking.
True.
You know what I mean? So there's a pro and con to both. Some people don't have to ask, but some people, the ones that knock, they make their bands. You're like, I wouldn't do that. It's like, cool, don't. But he made his money. It's just what you're comfortable doing. And I think in this stage of my life, it's like, if I wasn't making any money, then yeah, you have no choice. You're like, I better go put myself out there. But I think because I've been lucky and fortunate enough, has put myself and put my name in rooms that I'm not part of, and people spread my name, that I don't necessarily have to reach out and be like, hey, let's work together. I don't have to do that. But not a lot of people have that situation. So I would say, if you're not in the situation, which most people aren't, they'll just get business coming to them like that.
Create your pitch deck.
Shoot your friends. Like, you have friends for a reason. They're there to support you.
Why do you say that?
Because no one's gonna reach out. Like, if you want, Nike's the easy example. Everyone wants to work with Nike at some point, right? Like, oh, Nike be dope to work with. Great. Amazing company. Great. But Nike's not gonna just come knock on your door and be like, hey, work for us. You have to create something that not even Nike, but anyone will want you to do. I can't hire you if there's no proof of concept. So you have to go create things that people will want. So if you have a friend and you want to work for Nike, and your friend has a tech fleece suit and some Jordans and some whatever, be like, yo, put this stuff on. Let's make a little mock Nike commercial and put it out there. Tag Nike if you want to or not, whatever, but put it out there and shoot it in a way that you would want or think Nike would like. Because if a company reaches out to you for anything, it doesn't have to be Nike. and you already have a whole resume of stuff you've already done for free on your own time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, have you ever shot something like this? Actually, I have with my boy here. Versus like, no, but I always wanted to. No one wants that conversation.
Yeah.
You have friends for a reason. You have family, whatever. It'd be like, just take one day, be like, bro, you want to come here one time and help me do a video? Cool, yeah, for sure. That's your boy or your girl. You go out there, shoot something, and shoot the things you want to attain.
Because I even seen you shoot recently Justin's videos.
Yeah,
they're commercial like. They're commercial ready.
And now you can pitch that to someone and be like, yeah, I've done this. I mean, Justin does work with Adidas.
Yeah,
but because I've done that for him, now I can. If someone's like, oh, you ever done a video like that? Yeah, here for my cousin who works for it. Adidas didn't ask us to make that video. He does work with Adidas,
and that's commercial worthy.
But I still shot it in a way as if Adidas asked me to do it. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because he worked with Adidas, I could use the logo. But even if I didn't use the logo, like I can still shoot his shoes. I can still shoot everything exactly the same.
Yeah.
And even write in my caption if I want to. I'm like, a mock Adidas commercial. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Boom. And if Adidas actually sees it, they're like, yo, that's pretty dope. Like, but no, you cannot get something from nothing. It just doesn't make sense. So create the things that you want to achieve.
Bar. Simple. Bar.
That's it.
Okay, dope. Nowadays, to be a videographer, photographer, it's easy entry, right? It's a saturated market. Definitely. So how important is it to be versatile now? And you are very versatile. You do video, you do weddings, or you've done weddings. You've done it all, websites. Like, how important is it to be versatile?
I think that's based on your specific goals. True. So people can make it in a very, niche expertise style. If you say I only do portraits, that's all I want to do, then be the best portrait photographer, and you can have a great career like that. Regardless of the thing that's funny when people say like a saturation, like everything's saturated.
That's true.
Everything.
We're in a digital media.
Like everyone wants to play basketball. Everyone's a rapper. Anything you do is saturated. Well, people still stand out. Why? Because they're exceptional. So exceptional people will stand out in any environment. It doesn't matter if it's saturated. So right now you can be like, oh, some people have cameras. Everyone's shooting. You can buy a camera. If you become nasty, it doesn't matter what else is out there. You will be seen because you are exceptional. So to worry about what's saturated, what's not saturated, worry about perfecting a craft and perfecting a thing that you like. I don't think you have to be versatile. It works for me because I actually enjoy other things. If you don't enjoy being versatile, forcing yourself to be versatile doesn't help you, because now it feels like work. If you're like, I don't like doing video, but you're like, I'm gonna do video because people like that, like you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you only love doing video or only love doing photo, then focus on things. I generally like doing video and photo and other things, so I do those things because I like it. So if someone asks me to do any of those things, I'm not like, oh.
So everything's in house for you.
For me though, right? I wouldn't say you have to diversify, because if that's not what you genuinely enjoy, it's gonna be
doing work you don't like.
It won't be longevity for you. Right. So for me, I'm like, I generally like other things. So there is no thing where someone's like, hey, can you do this for me? Where I'm like, oh, I didn't really want to do that. Everything I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Versus if you're offering something you don't really want to do, when someone asks for you, you're like, I didn't really feel like doing that. Like I offer it, but I don't really like it. Then don't offer it. You know what I mean? So you can definitely get by, having expertise in a particular category. Whether there's people who are professional retouchers. Yeah. They don't even shoot. Yeah. They don't shoot. Yeah. They just retouch. They're good at it too. Bro, they just retouch. Yeah. They do not even own a camera. Yeah. They're just like, this photographer is famous. He sends me photos. I retouch. He pays me. That's it. Done. And that's their life.
So it's whatever works best for you.
Whatever works best for you.
Okay, cool. So I have to ask you the question. Yeah. I need to know. I don't call it madness. I need to know the thought process. Yeah. You're the only person that I know personally that has posted over 3,000 times on Instagram. Is that what I'm at right now? Yeah. What do you got right now? What's the official number?
I am at 3,478 posts. I've also had Instagram since 2012.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah.
But when you've gotten into the photography and videography, you're posting a lot.
100%.
100%. Why? What is it? What is? I don't see anyone else doing that. But why?
Honestly, my Instagram, how I use it, it's to document. True. So I don't really care about the likes or the numbers or certain times to post, or if I posted too much, people get annoyed. If I'm annoying you, unfollow me. Yeah. If I annoy you, don't follow me. Yeah. I should be annoying to you. If me putting stuff out bothers you, unfollow me. Yeah. You don't want to be your.
You don't even belong there anyway.
If I'm bothering you, he's posting again. Why are you following me if that bothers you? I don't have one post a day and then you're good. Like if me posting constantly is bothering you, you shouldn't follow me. Yeah. So that's not something I even think about. If I'm bothering people, whoever I'm bothering, leave. It's cool. Yeah. I hit 16K today. I don't like people will still come. Yeah. I don't care if the people leave. Yeah. That's not something I worry about.
You want engaging people anyway.
I'm not worried about that. Then on top of it, it's like because I'm able to document things, and the way I document certain things is by time. And because I shoot so much, there's things that I have on my page that I even scroll back down my page and I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Because I didn't even get the time to really like process it in that moment. I just put it out and I'm like, let me put it out there.
Next.
As a moment in time, and I'll keep moving, and then a week or 2 weeks or a month, I'll come back to my page and go through my stuff and really like appreciate it. I just put stuff out. Like holding on to it doesn't benefit me at all. And the thing is, one thing I definitely learned is that you have no idea who's watching at any given time. The things that you're like, it might not be good, it might not be this, could be something someone's looking for that day.
True.
And you not putting it out because your own insecurity or you worrying if other people are gonna like it. All you need is one person to be like, I want to pay you for that.
True.
I don't care if I got 1,000 likes. If one person gives me $1,000 for something that has 3 likes because they're like, I want that. Yeah. I still won. The likes and stuff, it's all superficial. Yeah, it looks good to have likes and comments, but at the end of the day, you want to get paid.
Yeah, you want dollars.
I work for a living for myself. Yeah. So I'm not going to hold on to content because of y'all. I'm going to put something out because I have no idea who's watching my page at any given time. The phrase of my brand is thank you for your eyes. I said that because regardless of whether you like me, don't like me, you're going to see my shit.
Yeah. You beat the algorithm.
That's how I feel. Whether you like me or don't like me, I know you saw my stuff. So I'm still thanking you for your eyes regardless. You can not like me, you can hate me, but you're still seeing it. Yeah. You will not stop seeing it. And that's how I move. Yeah. So I've been like that, bro. I really don't care.
Okay, dope. I recently noticed the recent explosion on TikTok.
Bro.
That's how many followers in how many days?
At least 50,000 followers in the last 7 days.
What's going on? What do you know that we don't?
Honestly, bro, everything happens for a reason. We were talking about this off camera earlier, but like I was supposed to be in LA last week or 2 weeks ago, and I caught COVID. And then when I caught COVID, I'm like, damn, now I'm home. I'm isolating. I have nothing to do. And I had my TikTok account had 10,000 followers on it, 10.8 thousand. And that was before Christmas Day. And I was like, the last video I posted on my TikTok was a snippet of an interview I did with another friend of mine named Apollo. And I think that was at like 60,000 views on TikTok. So it did really well. But I didn't really use my TikTok since then. I was like, it did well. And then I was like, all right, cool. I don't use TikTok like that. That's pretty cool, but whatever. But now I had all this time and I'm like, I looked at the method I used. I have a unique style. I edit it and I put little captions on top of it. And I'm like, this did well. Like I haven't really capitalized off of that. After it did well, I just kind of was like, oh, that was pretty dope, and left it. And I'm like, I have time now. Let me go through some of my footage. I have good stuff to say. A lot of the stuff I talk about is pretty timeless, like relationships and motivation and work on yourself and self-encouragement, stuff I talk about every day. Like that doesn't go old. So I'm like, yeah, it's old footage, but I'm like, people on TikTok don't know me. So yeah, it's old for my Instagram following because I posted on my Instagram before. But TikTok's a whole new platform for me, a whole new audience. So I'm like, why not? You're home. I'm nothing to do. I have the footage. I'm not to go record it. It's been recorded. I just edit it and put it on there. So I was like, all right, let me try a video. I put one video on there and it jumps to like, I think like 50 or 40,000 as well, 50,000 as well. Wow. In like a couple of days. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so this method still works. It worked from the last one. I'm like, okay, cool. So I let that video ride out and I'm like, now it became a test for me. Yeah. Before it was like, let me just see if it works. Now I'm like, oh, this actually worked. I'm like, let me try another one. I had another clip of video that I had. I already have the videos. It's not stuff I have to go.
You're just repurposing.
Bro, I don't have to go say the camera. Like I have it. It's already in my computer. I'm like, just share it. Yeah. So I share the next one, add some captions to it, put that on there. Hits another 70, 60,000. So now I'm like, oh, people really fuck with this. Like now there's a proof of concept. So for the last 6 days, I think I posted like maybe 4 videos four of my favorite videos. Yeah, four of my favorite videos that I've already shot, already had a couple of shots for my podcast, a couple of shots for my own little interview sessions, and one recent video just hit 1.1 million in 4 days. I posted that video 4 days ago. It's at 1.1 million.
Jeez.
I now sit at 60 point
and it's going up as
1,000 followers
yeah.
from 10K 7 days ago.
Jeez.
Just like that, just by doing.
Yeah.
Right. And I made a post a couple days ago as well about how do I start? Like people always ask, how do I start? You start by starting.
You start by starting.
You start, just do.
Bar.
Bro, do. Yeah. Like it's not as complicated as you make it seem. People are like, oh, how do I start? Like, what do I do? You start. You sit, you come with an idea and you do it. An idea is useless in your head.
Yeah, facts.
And the thing is, if I didn't get stuck, I probably wouldn't have done this. But because of that, you pivot.
Yeah.
And pivoting is one of my favorite words in the dictionary. I love to pivot. Yeah. I do it in my life. It's part of my life.
Yeah.
There's always another move. There's always another move. So I'm like, what would happen if I didn't make those posts? Nothing. So just do stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I just tried. There's things that happen by accident, bro.
Yeah.
That happened. I can't be like, oh, I knew it was gonna happen. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But it definitely would happen if I did nothing. If I did nothing, it wouldn't happen for sure. I'd be at 10K being like, should I post, should I not post? I was like, just put it out there.
Yeah. So with the TikTok followers, do they translate to Instagram followers?
Oh yeah.
People are going.
So on your TikTok, there's like a section you can add like your Instagram or a link or a YouTube. So my Instagram account is linked in my TikTok. So those followers, most of them stay on TikTok. Like I have 60,000, almost 60,000 Instagram followers. Yeah. But naturally, people who want to see more of you, they'll click on your Instagram because it's right there. It's very seamless. Yeah. I was at 14.8 thousand followers on Instagram 5 days ago. Now I just hit 16K.
Jeez. So you're building an ecosystem.
Now it's like they're just circulating, right? So I still gain 1.2 thousand on Instagram. It's slower than TikTok because Instagram just the algorithm different, but I still gain followers that didn't exist before, and I know they're directly from TikTok. Yeah, like directly.
and I noticed that you're building even more of a community right now. So, for example, I noticed that you did a live with someone from TikTok.
From TikTok.
Yeah, what was that about?
That was my first live. Wow. So now I think I had 90 viewers on my TikTok live. Yeah. Like it's getting crazy, bro. It's getting crazy because I'm like, basically I did that live right before I hit 1 million. Yeah. So the video was at like 989,000 views. Yeah. So I'm like, let me go on live right before, because it's gonna hit 1 million now. Like I could see it was growing so fast. So I'm like, let me go on live before it goes to 1 million. Just talk to the people that came now. These are all new followers. I don't know none of y'all. Clearly you guys like this video, so I just talked about the video, and the video is about men and women being friends, and if it's possible, if it's not possible, and the video is just basically saying like, you know, men and women can only be friends if both parties are not attracted to each other. I can be like, yo, I think you're an attractive person. Other people be like, yo, that girl's pretty. She's pretty. I can genuinely look at a girl and be like, that girl's pretty. Yeah. Am I attracted to her? Nah. I can appreciate that she's a beautiful girl. Once I feel in my body, like, yo, I kind of like, that's not my friend anymore. We're not gonna be buddies. And
your intentions are different.
My intentions are different. And the thing is, most women don't know that moment on the guy's end, because to her intentions never change. She's like, that's my boy Corey. That's my guy Ryan. Like, but the guy's like, I mean, if she was naked, you know, and she's like, in her mind, she's like, nah, I would never. That's not an equal two-way platonic friendship anymore. And that was literally what I talked about in the video, and that video is now at 1.1 million. A lot of people are arguing in the comments saying, I can be friends, blah, blah. I'm attracted to my friends. Yeah. Sure. All right, cool. Okay.
You have a conversation starter. Boom.
Whatever. But it's creating a convo. There's I don't even know how many comments at this point, but that video I basically discussed in the live and just asked a woman her opinion. And she's like, I never looked at it that way. And just even that conversation with her being like, she's like, I never really asked my guy. I just assume. And I'm like, and that's most cases. Not to say every guy friend that you have, women, is gonna fuck you. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there are a lot that would, right? And most people just don't have the conversation because they're like, they're either running from the potential that if I have this conversation, I'll find out the truth. So I'd rather just live in this bubble where I'm like, let me just never ask and just hope it stays like this. Yeah. Or some people just really assume and believe like, I know nothing would happen, so I'll even have to ask, and they'd be surprised if they ask that question. So I'm a conversation sparker.
Yeah,
all the stuff I post is never me saying like this is fact. I always say every video I made,
open-ended.
I say in my opinion. People still argue with me. I'm like, how you arguing my opinion? Like, do people agree or you disagree? That's fine. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying, in my opinion, in most cases, how it is. So yeah, that video took off and the followers are going, and it's just kind of running its own self right now.
What do you think this could do to your clientele? Because I feel like when you're building, you're good. You're building a community. So what I think is now this is building more trust for people to hit you up for your other work too.
100%. So my goal with this, this is a new goal because I didn't have this goal before, but I'm now creating new goals now that this is opened for me. To start sharing my work on my TikTok. You know, I have a lot of video work as well and photos or whatever, but it'll probably be mostly video I'll put on there. But there's a way to separate your videos by lists now on TikTok for me. So once you get to a certain threshold, they let you organize your videos. Yeah. So now I just have 2 sections. I'll probably keep it the 2 sections forever. Yeah. One section is my work. One section is my words. My words are the videos like this where I'm talking, interviews like this, little sound bites. And then my work will be like, you know, I have little motivational videos that I've shot. I have work that I've done.
The work like behind the camera.
Drone stuff. Yeah. All my stuff I actually do for work. Yeah. And the goal is to get that stuff viral. So if my work gets viral, I'm out of here.
Yeah, you're out of here.
Because now people are like, who is this? Let me work with him and it'll be out of here, right? But I posted a couple videos right now during this time because people are there for my words. They don't care about my work right now.
Which is cool. It's still value. You're giving away value. It's still
value. But my work, I put my work in there on a couple videos on my page just because I know people are still coming to my page. So I'll get like the follow up people come check that clip while they're on my page anyways, even though I know they're not for my work right now. I want to slowly integrate it into their like, because right now, I'm sure right now, I check my analytics. I have 60%, almost 60% of my following. 85% are women, first of all. 85, bro. Let me get this started right now real quick. Last time I checked, it was 85% women. But what I was saying was
that's TikTok.
It's on TikTok, yeah. I have 85% of my following is women. The last time I checked. Let me check right now real quick. Analytics. Let me go quick.
That can gear you towards how you want to put out content on TikTok.
Oh, 100, because now I can target them.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course I can target them.
A lot of thought-provoking questions can come from a female.
It's not loading, but anyways,
female audience.
Yeah, about 85% of my audience was women. But what I was saying was a good 65% of my audience is in the US. So what I feel is gonna happen is when I get to
city based, like it tells you cities, or
I didn't check cities. I think I checked countries.
I feel like that's a place to target.
That's important too. That's important. But because such a large amount is in the United States. Based on the videos that are going viral right now, I feel like when I get to LA or other places in the States, people are gonna know me off that. Yeah. They won't even know I'm a photographer. They're gonna be like, you're that guy from TikTok.
And that's different opportunities.
It's completely different. Yeah. Cause for me, I'm like, now what I do for a living will come as a bonus.
So that's more versatility going back.
Bro, they're gonna be like, oh, shit, I got from TikTok. It's like, yeah, I just do that for fun, but this is what I actually do for work. Yeah. What, you shoot? That's just gonna that will lead into my work in such a seamless way. Because if I get hired for something or whatever, or I'm an influencer now for different things, but if I become a TikTok influencer, let's say, and people hire me for stuff, it's like, will you also shoot? Yeah, that's actually what I do for work. This is something I do, but that's not my career. So I think everything's gonna eventually merge into a very like
fruitful. You're literally building a whole ecosystem, and 100%. There's no holes out. Whatever 100%.
It's exciting, and like this is like what's crazy about this, and I'm actually glad we have this conversation right now, is that like this is a moment in time that we're not gonna have. Because if for whatever reason I hit 1 million followers, not video, not views. If I hit 1 million followers, we will have this convo where we're like, yo, remember you're at 60K.
Yeah, I know. And you have
like, this is actually a moment. Like right now, I'm literally processing it right now with you. I'm like, this convo was a moment in time where I'm at 60,000 followers. Like, oh, this is pretty dope. Yeah. If I somehow hit 1 million, be like, yo, we had a convo where I was at 16. I was like, yo, this is crazy. And I'm at 1 million followers. Like that's kind of, and that's also why I love just what I do is that like, we just document stuff. It's all part of our story.
And that just goes back to you even posting the 3,000 plus times. Everything's 100%. Documented.
100%.
Dope. So what do you?
The revolution will be televised.
Yeah, the revolution will be. It is televised.
It is televised.
So, what do you think? What do you think separates a good videographer, photographer from a great videographer, photographer?
It's a great question. I think what people don't really put a lot of time into is being personable. You know,
what do you mean by that?
I can definitely say with confidence, and I don't even care, I am not the best videographer out there.
Yeah.
I am not the best photographer. I'm not the best YouTuber or the best podcaster. I am not the best.
Yeah.
I've seen work out there that's better than mine.
Yeah.
I can humbly look at that and be like, this guy is better than me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But why am I getting certain opportunities and not that guy? Because I'm personable. So yes, I'm always gonna work on my craft and I would like to be as good as some people I've seen. I'm very good at what I do, but am I the best? No. But I am great because I am personable with my skill set. So I get in certain rooms that other people won't get into because they're not personable. You can be really good at the technical aspect of shooting, but if a client doesn't like you, it doesn't matter how good you are.
No one wants a headache.
Nobody. Yeah. Bro, I work with celebrities all the time. I don't work with them because I'm so good at what I do. They're like, no, I like that guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, I am good. That does have to exist. But I'm not working with certain people because I'm so good. They're just like, no, I like this guy. So I don't care if there's better out there. I want that guy. And he's good at what he does anyways as well. But I'm not hiring him or working with him because he's the best shooter. I think he's great because he's the best person. Do you get what I'm saying? So from a technical aspect, you know, you can be a great videographer by working on your skill and working on your craft and studying the game and watching, you know, videos and movies and learning the art form and learning the specs. Like, yeah, you could always improve the detail aspects and the quantitative aspects of being a good shooter, a great shooter. But those numbers and all that shit doesn't teach you how to be a good person. Doesn't teach you how to be liked.
And that's something you can't teach.
You can't. People like you, they don't like you. It's some people are introverts, some people are extroverts, some people are very funny. Like these are just things that come with you as a person. So as much as I can work on my craft and what I'm doing, I always will. But I feel like it's equally as important to me for me to make sure I'm processing and understanding people are comfortable when they're around me. When I'm in a situation where I know, is it good?
Yeah, you're good, sorry.
When I'm in a situation when I know that, okay, bro, like I'm in a room right now that like I probably shouldn't be in. And not in a way that like I don't deserve it, but like it's a room where it's like, I don't know nobody in here and someone brought me in here because they're like, I like him. I've been in rooms where I'm like, I don't know nobody in here. Someone that just said, yo, I like this guy, come in this room. That's why I'm in there, not because I'm such a good shooter. They're like, nah, I like this guy, come with us. I shot a picture of Kevin Hart and him and his boys when I was in Miami.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how many photographers are trying to get a picture of that guy? It's just, I was there, I was in the booth with him, we started talking. He's like, yo, get a picture of, like, dude, I can't make that. I can't teach someone how to make Kevin Hart say, yo, take a picture of me and my guys.
Yeah.
How do I?
It's a vibe.
He's just like, yo, you have a camera. Yo. It wasn't like his work's so good, I need this photo. It was
you
like,
probably never even seen your work before.
Bro, he doesn't know who the hell I am. At that moment, you didn't know who the hell I was.
Yeah.
But I was just chilling with them. I wasn't forcing trying to take a picture of them. I had my camera on me, but they're all laughing, chilling. I started talking to him. And then he's like, yo, get a picture of us. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Done.
Now I have a photo of Kevin and some other people. But the energy is so much, the energy will take you so much further than the skill. 100%.
Bar.
100%.
Bar. The energy will take you so much further than skill.
100%.
Bar.
And that can even apply to basketball, bro. Like, there's guys in the NBA right now that are 100% so skilled.
Yeah.
But they're out of the league.
Yeah. And for attitude too.
He's not shit. It's just, I don't like this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he's an asshole. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's important.
Okay, dope. What has been your biggest loss so far?
My biggest loss, like from business perspective.
Business perspective.
Yeah, in my first year, I just quit my job. 2018 February, I quit, and I saved up all my money to prepare for this new venture for myself. I bought a camera. I bought all the lenses I wanted. I had hard drives. I was like, yo, I'm ready to take this leap. I'm good. I was working crazy. I was making money. I was doing great. And then I had a wedding to shoot in the summertime in June 2018. And I was shooting the wedding. I had my camera in my hand and I had my camera bag on my back, which I never do. It's just one of those things that the odd time you do something, it fucks up. Like I never shoot with my camera bag on my back, but we're kind of wrapping up. So I'm like, let me just put it on my back for now. And I was shooting the couple walking backwards. I was walking backwards and they're walking towards me. And I was kind of getting like a shot of them walking towards me, like kind of candid. And I remember seeing the fountain the first time I passed it when we went to the courtyard, but we walked in like a different route and circle, like, so I didn't really realize where I was situating and I was focusing on them. So a lot of stuff happening. And as I was walking, all I heard was, Ryan, watch. And I felt my heel hit like something. And I felt my body just going and I'm like, am I falling? And I just felt like cold, just water just is submerging my body. I'm in a full suit. I know my backpack's on me with all my lenses in it. My instinct was just like, let me just hold the camera up. So I just held the camera in the air while I was falling.
Yeah.
Dunked my whole body in the fountain. I came out. I was just like, the bride and the groom were looking at me like, bro, like just shocked.
Yeah.
I'm just like soaking wet. And I stand up, I take my bag is dripping wet. I didn't even open it. I just knew I'm like, these are done. Yeah. So I finally opened the bag. I opened one lens just to check. There's water circulating through the lens. It's finished. Yeah. At least 4 lenses are in there, all finished. I'm like, okay, at least I have my camera. You know, the camera was still in my hand. I turned the camera on to look through the lens. When I was falling, I hit the base of my camera on the base of the fountain.
Yeah.
And the force I hit it with, like kind of like just to protect myself. I wasn't thinking, I was just trying to save the camera, but also hold myself.
Yeah.
I hit the base of my camera so hard on the fountain that I cracked the mirror inside of the lens. So the camera looked good. I'm like, oh, I saved my camera. I turned the camera on, the lens is cracked. And so the glass inside of the camera cracked. And I just looked at them and they're like, I'm gonna go home. They're like, yeah, we.
Did you still have their photos?
The photos are on the memory card.
Okay.
So I still have the photos, but it was I missed the whole reception. So all the photos were like the pre-wedding stuff, the wedding ceremony,
the reception,
and then some of the photos with them together.
Yeah. But
I didn't go to the reception, so they didn't have any photos of reception, unfortunately, because I'm like, I can't shoot.
Yeah, there's nothing.
But they understood. They're just like, just take care of that. Like, you're probably so mad right now. I was super silent.
Yeah.
I slushed my way to my car. Bro, I was so mad. So I get home, go through all the stuff. All my lenses are done. So that's at least $5,000 in lenses. Just like that gone. The camera in there, like $1,500. Yeah. Done. I have to get that repaired. And then I'm just sitting, just so mad, just thinking like, how am I gonna get this back? I put all this stuff on my credit card. I couldn't afford it, but I'm like, this is my life now. I gotta do it.
You gotta work harder.
So I put all this stuff on my credit card, put myself in debt to try and get some of the stuff back, just at least I can start shooting again.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after that, I'm editing and my hard drive crashes.
I know that nightmare now.
It happens right after.
Yeah.
I just lost all this shit.
Yeah.
Then my hard drive crashes with everything I've ever done before 2018.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I haven't even recovered from the fact that I just lost all that equipment. Then I lose all my data right after. In 2 weeks. Bro, I was so low. Like, I was so low. Part of me, I'm just like, yo, shouldn't have quit. Like, I'm such an idiot. But like, I was so mad. And then I just was like, you know what? Like, this is teaching me something. I got out of it. Again, like, I feel like I've just built immunity to adversity.
Yeah.
I just continue like, all right, you know what?
Everybody has to go through something.
It's just something has to happen.
Yeah, something has to happen.
You're working for yourself now. It can't be that smooth.
Yeah, it can't be that smooth.
It can't be that smooth.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, I was like, yo, life is blessed. I'm like, I've been working for myself for 6 months and making some money. Yeah. How about now? Yeah. Like, that's entrepreneurship. Yeah. You know, so that was probably my biggest financial and emotional loss when it comes to my business. Since then, it only takes once for you to learn a lesson.
Oh yeah.
A big one.
Oh yeah.
You know, so since then I doubled up on my hard drives. I have extra cameras. I have 4 cameras now. Like if one camera goes, I got 3. Yeah, like boom. I'm so solution based now that like, yeah, it still sucks if I lose one camera, but
you can still do the job.
I'm not out of commission. I'm not like can't work. Like, so it takes one time to teach you a lesson like that. And sometimes it's a tough lesson they're not expecting, but that definitely was a turning point in my career, and it was right at the beginning.
Okay, well, fuck, as long as it was at the beginning, because
Yeah.
I just lost my hard drive,
God
and that's
damn.
like 4 years of work. But you know what?
Damn.
Keep it moving, and
Got to.
just kind of is what it is at this point.
Bro, I was saying to you earlier, man, like sometimes, you know, we're so used to holding on to things. You know, we're beings of memory. We love to just remember that. Like, oh, this time we look back at things, we look at our past relationships, past things. We're always in the past. We live in the past so much. We love the good
love the
times.
past,
So we
yeah.
love, that's how we are. We love memory. But I think for you, especially, like, you know, you're transitioning into this, you're doing a podcast now, you're doing other stuff. You're not even really shooting as much anymore, especially new photography like you used to. But you still had all that work. You're still attached to it in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
So although you're like, I don't do that anymore. I'm former nude photographer, used to do that, blah, blah. You still have the piece you connect. You said all the data. You said all the photos. If you really wanted to, I could still go back if I wanted to. If I still want to post this, I still can.
Yeah.
This wipe really actually detached you from that.
100%.
It really been like, oh, are you actually done?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
Like, so let me see if you're really done. And now it's really challenging you to be like, how do I process actually moving forward in this chapter, actually letting go of what I thought or claimed I was over? Am I really over it? And it's really going to challenge you as much as it still sucks. Don't get me wrong, it fucking sucks. But it will really, sometimes life will put you in a situation where it's like, let me see how serious you really are about this. You know, and how you bounce back from that moment is really going to determine how serious you really are about this new path you're on.
Yeah.
So
honestly, that was my whole mindset when it happened, to be honest, because even the people around me, like, I wasn't complaining like that, really, to be honest. Like, I wasn't like sulking or anything. Yeah, it hurt. It still does hurt, but just now it's just like, you know, how do you move on, like you were saying? But I have a deep question for you. And it's you've done so much work in, I don't know how to say a short amount of time, but in an amount of time, you've done a lot, right?
I mean, this is only my 4th year now.
Yeah, it's only your 4th. Actually, you know what?
I'm entering 4 right now.
Yeah, so then it's a short amount of time. How do you want to leave your impact on this game, or even just in this world, period?
My goal is to leave an impact, you know? So like, how do I want to leave an impact is actually by leaving an impact.
Yeah.
You know
what does that impact look like?
What does it look like? So I guess to be more specific, I mean, I get messages every day from different people. I speak for kids and other entrepreneurs and stuff like this. And I'm always talking. I'm a talker. My videos are going viral of me talking.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the best part, is that, like, if I was to go viral, I want to go viral of me doing something that's me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be dancing for nobody, doing some dumb shit or being funny to get famous or anything like that. Like, if this stuff gets big, it's at least I can look back and be like, this is really who I am. So if you guys want to meet me, I'm known for who I am.
Yeah.
So because I'm that way, like, I think I just want to encourage other people to also be comfortable being that. You know, you don't have to bend your bar or change your morals or values to fit a particular mold for other people. You know, some people think, oh, for me to get famous, or not even just famous, but for me to be successful, I got to do things this way because that's what they're doing. Bro, their stories have been written. Write yours. You know what I mean? Everyone else they're writing their stories. Everyone else's story is still always writing, and my story is still writing itself.
And you'll always lose trying to write someone else's story.
You will always lose.
Yeah.
You will always lose. So I think I'm a prime example for a lot of people. They're like, yo, like, this guy really doesn't give a fuck. Like, it's not like, oh, I don't give a fuck. People like, no, he really doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, really doesn't.
A long time.
He really doesn't care. Like, and like, that's enough for someone to be like, yo, like, that guy really has never cared, and look how far he's gotten doing it his way. And I think that's the inspiration itself that people look back on and be like, yo, I've watched this guy go from like just the beginning, picking up a camera, picking up a pencil and sketching and drawing, to picking up a camera, to doing this, to traveling the world, to working with these people. And he hasn't changed anything. He hasn't been like, I'm gonna start being this way or talking a certain way, or I'm wearing my fucking grill. Like I wore my grill. I had to do I was asked to do a speech for Black History Month for Sportsnet a couple years. Was it last year or the year before? I can't remember. I think it was last year. But anyways, I was asked to do a Black History Month segment for Sportsnet, and I purposely wore my grill in it for Sportsnet. And they aired it, and they had to.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, don't ask me to do something about Black history and then tell me
to revoke
how
my blackness.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I actually did it on purpose, because I'm like, when I sent that video to him, like, oh, we love it, blah, blah, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. But I actually want him to come back and be like, oh, could you take the grill out?
Yeah.
Because then I would have actually been like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I purposely wore the grill to be like, I'm going to show up how I want to show up, because if you're asking me to do something, create content for your platform, I'm going to do it my way.
And especially about being black.
I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
So I wore the grill on their fucking platform, and they shared it and people liked it, whatever. And I had my grilling on Sportsnet. And I did that. Big. I literally did that.
That's strategically.
Strictly to prove a point.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hear them be like, yo, could you just, no. Because they continue to make us adjust and change and tweak and fit this mold. I'm like, if you're asking me for my skill and my content, I'm going to provide it to you in my way.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't say, oh, can you do this for us, but do it our way? No.
Yeah, exactly. No. It doesn't work like that.
So that's another thing I just want to continually put out there, that like anything I do, I'm doing it my way. And it works and it can work. For others. And that's the real thing I can say for people, because I don't bend for nobody.
Yeah.
Maybe my mom. And even sometimes I don't bend for her. So.
Okay, dope. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. 5 years flies by fast.
Yeah.
Bro.
Trust
that's
me.
almost like where you see yourself tomorrow.
Yeah. No.
Bro, 5 years. 5 years. It's almost been 5 years since I quit my job. Yeah. Like, and that felt like that. So I mean, 5 years from now, I mean, my plan right now, I'm in transition to moving to LA. So by then, hopefully everything goes smoothly. I'm out there. In 5 years, I don't even know if I'll still be there though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
because everything's moving fast. Who knows right now?
You know, I can move there and then get a crazy opportunity in Europe. And now I'm in Europe. Like, I don't know. But if I can control it, I don't really think the location matters, but I'd like to be somewhere I love, doing what I love. I probably...
Will you still be shooting?
In 5 years, I don't think I'll be shooting. It's funny. Again, this soundbite is going to be so crazy, because in 5 years, I'm still shooting or not shooting. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, I called this. But in 5 years, I don't believe I'll be shooting. I'd rather take a backseat role in terms of motivation, helping entrepreneurs begin. I want to do a movie. I want to start doing script writing.
Oh, nice.
I love to direct and stuff like that. Like, I think the shooting aspect for me right now, it's fun for me. I'm still loving it. I think I'll always love shooting, but I think the shooting part is very time consuming. And I think it's limiting. Not right now. Right now, it's good for me. But I think as I grow, it will limit my ability to impact in other ways.
True.
That like the time to cut me from shooting, where I can actually work with other people and facilitate that with somebody else and use my time for something else and still make the same amount of money. I think that would be more ideal for me, where it's like I don't have to physically shoot to still make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So I love the transition that where I'm directing some type of movie or film. I would love to train new photographers. And I think the fact that I am still shooting is allowing me to be like, although I don't shoot anymore, I know what to do. So I can, this knowledge is still there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can
go like
doesn't go. Yeah. So I can now make money from classes and from stuff like that, where it's like, I used to shoot, but I know how to teach you guys. And I love to teach.
I actually think you should get on that online courses, master courses.
I've been thinking about that. And that's another thing. It's like,
I've been thinking about killing on that.
Bro, and the thing is, I'm a hypocrite myself, because I'm like, I've been thinking about doing that for so long, and I just haven't done. Yeah. And you know, I can put this in stone right now. This year, I will create some type of course.
Okay, dope.
That's something that I want to create a course this year, 2022. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen.
Okay.
So yeah, in 5 years, more of a backseat, more of a teaching motivation role, public speaking, which I love to do. Definitely have a wife and kids hopefully by then.
Yeah.
Probably 2 kids in 5 years. I want to have my first kid at least in the next couple of years. So that'll be my one, the next one.
Yeah.
With that. So, and yeah, I mean, I think that's a good for 5 years, bro. That's quick.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot. And that's coming. Because in 5 years, I gotta meet somebody, gotta have a kid, get married,
settle down a little bit,
all that. So I think that's good for 5 years. Yeah.
Okay, dope. Last 2 questions. Yeah. What is the best advice that you've ever gotten, and what has been the worst advice that you've ever gotten?
I think the best advice I've gotten is probably from my mom. If I can think about it, I don't know if word for word what she said, but we talk every day, so she's always drilling this into my head. But she's like, and it's proving itself. She's like, people like you. Like, it's at the point now where it's like, I used to have to think, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Or how am I going to shoot? Or how am I going to post this? Or how should I show up? Or whatever. She's like, just show up as you. Like, some people in this world literally are can make a living off of being themselves.
Yeah.
Some people, not every, but I believe I've become one of those people. Like I'm literally showing up as me.
Yeah.
I don't have to put on no act, no nothing. Like people are like, just do the thing where you're yourself. Like, okay, like, like that's a blessing, bro. Yeah. To just show up and be like, what do you want me to do? Yeah. Just talk. Yeah. Just talk to me and I'll give you money. Yeah. Like, really? Okay. So you like taking pictures, right? It's like, yeah, can you just take pictures of me and I'll pay you? Sure. Like that's actually for me. Yeah. So she continually reminds me, she's like, just be authentic, be yourself and just show up, you know, as genuine as you can and the world will be as what I want it to be. And that's literally how I've been moving. Yeah. The worst advice I've ever gotten.
And you don't have to say who.
I can't even think of worst advice because I don't listen to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So that'd be tough. Like for me to be like, that was the worst advice. I don't even listen to y'all. like I can't even really think. Worst advice. Probably someone tell me to go back to my ex.
Oh God.
Did the camera just click? Or no?
No.
Yeah. Worst advice. Probably somebody tell me to go back to my ex-girlfriend. That was probably the worst advice. Cause I knew I should, and I was like, "You think? Yeah, I know you guys will be good. Like, just give her one more chance." Yeah. Nah. Like,
I never double.
Nah. Exes, like, as you get older, man. Like, when you're young and you're dipping and dabbling, and like the feelings are there. You're like, "Yo, we're so good together. We try and get back what we had." Mm-hmm. The act of trying to get something back, it's hard. It's never a good idea. Yeah. It's never a good idea. Yeah. Like,
so do you think people can't get back together ever?
100% they can. Okay. But what I'm saying is there's so much, like, it's one thing if you still have it. True. Right? If you're like, we broke up, but the spark's still there. I still love this girl just as much. We're just not together. True. If you both feel that, then bro, don't waste time. Like, try. Yeah. But if you know it's dead. Yeah. You broke up with this person. You said, I am done. Like, you got to a point where you genuinely in your heart said, I don't want this. Yeah. And you said that. Yeah. Why are you going back?
Yeah. Let it be done.
Like, we have to trust our own words. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like we don't trust our own words. If I know I said to you, I don't want this, I'm done. Why are we still trying to do this again? Mm-hmm. Now I don't mean that anymore. I meant that. I know for a fact in that moment, whatever we're doing, I meant it. So for me to go back into that, I'm either trying to convince myself I didn't mean that, or I'm forcing something, but it's clearly not natural. You know, it's not just we broke up. We're like, this is just tough. It's not working. I'm still madly in love with you. We're just tough right now. It's not that situation. The situation is like, I'm done. I want out. Yeah. And then 2 years later, you're like, I kind of like, bro, you're lonely. You're bored. Like, get out of that. Get out of that. Talk to someone new. Yeah. And a lot of people, truthfully, especially our ages now, and myself as well, bro, you know how tiring it is to start over?
Yo, trust me.
Like, a lot of people, annoying. Like, bro, we're getting back with exes because we're tired of starting over. Yeah. Not because we want the ex. Yeah. I just want to do this again. Yeah. What's your name? I don't want to do this again. Yeah. You already know me. Like, you know my mom and my friends. Like, can we just resume where we start?
Make it work.
Nah, but it's as frustrating as this to start over. You can't go back to comfort. You can't. You can't.
All right.
Love dies in comfort, bro.
Yeah. Love dies. Death. Bar. No, love dies in comfort.
Bro.
Bar.
It dies in comfort, bro.
Shit. Okay. We're going to leave it right there. Just give everybody your socials where they can find you.
So I'm a TikToker now. Mr.Koa on everything. mr.koa. Mr.Koa.com. My TikTok is Mr. Koa. My Instagram is the Koa. And yeah, that's where to find me. That brand's gonna go strong. I am now King of Arts Inc. Incorporated.
Okay, dope.
But yeah, no, this was dope, Corey. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate you for coming.
For those of you who forgot by this time of the show, if you've been watching the whole thing, this is now our second time recording this. So there was hidden scenes that behind the scenes stuff we recorded that are lost files now.
Yeah, I know.
So this is actually a dope second entire new podcast for you guys. And honestly, this might have been better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have the audio.
It was close. This might have been better. I don't know.
All right.
But thank you, bro. This is really dope.
No problem. Thank you for coming back again, because you weren't even really supposed to be here for like such like.
I'm here for a reason.
You're here for a reason.
Here for a reason.
It worked out, and I hope by when this comes out, you will be not living here. Yeah.
You and me both. Fuck.
You know. So yeah. All the best on your journey, and thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, fam.
See it. It's a wrap.
Everything black on black.